Hello guys, NautoAis here, and I want to give my thoughts on the announcement that happened at Gamescom 2025, opening night live to some extent. And I have to say, yeah, some surprises actually happened, and I have to give props to Jeff Keighley of what he showed, especially gameplay of Resident Evil Requiem, not only on the opening night live, but as well as a segment from Capcom themselves. And I have to say, props to that one. So with that said, I'm going to give my thoughts on the game that caught my eye and give my thoughts about it, starting with Bubsy 4D. Yeah, so it's the fourth installment of the game. I guess Bubsy now looks older because he has a new outfit. He's wearing a suit now. And yes, for people who don't know who Bubsy is, it's a 90s pop culture character. He started in a side-scrolling platformer, then Bugsy 3D, and then so on and so on. He made a comeback. There's like a new 2D side-scrolling platformer, and now there's going to be a new 3D platformer. And yes, credit to Atari and Digital Eclipse, there's also a Bubsy collection if you want to know more about that character. And then He-Man Dragon Pearl of Destruction. So another 16-bit beat 'em up, kind of like G.I. Joe Rat of the Cobra. This is going to be fun. I don't know. I mean, if you like He-Man, of course you're probably going to play this. Same goes with the G.I. Joe beat 'em up. But unfortunately, from what I understand, that people played it. It's not so fun for what it is. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know, and I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see if this one's going to be much better than the G.I. Joe one. And then another game that caught my eye, it's another beat 'em up from .mu, Absolution. I like the graphic. Reminds me of Street of Rage 4, but it's very original IP. We'll just have to wait and see what it is. And then another one is Sword of Legend. Interesting, sort of an indie game. I saw some gameplay trailers, so again, I just wanted to give that out there. Kind of look interesting in my eye, but again, once I play it, maybe it'll be a different perspective there. And then something big on Gamescom, and that is they reveal another guest character for Sonic Cross World, and this time it's a Pac-Man DLC pack. Yeah, so you get to play as Pac-Man and the Ghost Monster. You drive the Pac-Man car from Ridge Racer 5, and of course, each of the DLC pack has its own track. There's the Pac Village, so that's actually awesome, Pac-Man and Sonic. And not only that, in Pac-Man World 2 Repack, there's going to be a DLC stage where Pac-Man went to Sonic's world, and the stage is basically Sonic. So for whatever reason, Pac-Man's going to be playing like Sonic, and I have to say that's actually one of the best showcase surprises that I saw. Pac-Man and Sonic, again, since Super Smash Bros. Wii U, where Pac-Man was in that game, Mario, Sonic, Pac-Man, and Mega Man. But that'll be funny if Mega Man is going to be also in Sonic Cross World. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. So with that also, finally, a lot of information. And also, since I record this late, I'm also going to give my thoughts about the situation with this game. And that is Hollow Knight Silk Song. So finally it's revealed. The game's going to come out in September 4th, 2025. Jeff Keighley in the show even said it will be coming out this year. And then they showed the trailer. Understandable. And then Jason Schreier wrote an article about the story of what happened with Silk Song. And was there any controversy? No, not really. So here's the gist of it. If you want to know about it, you can just check on the internet. You can check on Twitter. Read Jason Schreier's blog. I mean, to some extent, it was controversy. It's a nothing burger thing. And here's the gist of what happened. So, yes, originally from what I heard, Silk Song was going to be a DLC for Hollow Knight, but it got too big, so they said, why not just make it its own game? Makes sense, believe it or not. Saint Row 4 was originally DLC for Saint Row 3, and then they said, well, just make a game itself, and there you go. That's why it looks like Saint Row 3 with some weird game-breaking features. That's the reason why. And when they announced it's going to be like a game itself, yeah, they admitted it that they announced it too early, and that's what happened. And again, there was no controversy. They just wanted to put a lot of the content in the game. Probably it's going to be $30 MSRP. We'll just have to wait and see. And they keep adding. And to a point that the reason the lack of transparency with the fans is that they really have nothing to show that might spoil the game. That's what it is. So they were afraid that if they show something, it might spoil the game. So they just said, hey, you know what? Here's something. Oh, we're working on the game. Just be patient about it. And they really, to some extent, can't really show anything that's spoiled again. So they were trying to avoid that. Plus, they admitted that to some extent that they're not really into the social media aspect. So to some extent, they don't even read the comment of, oh, when's Silk Song? What's going on? They don't even know about the clown emoji meme that every time there's a presentation. Because for them, just like, hey, we just want to focus on the game. We're trying to finish the game. And we finally finished the game. So that's the bottom line. And of course, COVID, to some extent, kind of made an impact to some extent. They even admitted, said that during 2020 to 2021, they had to slow down to some extent, stop because of the COVID. But after a while, I think in 2022, then they started developing again. So that's the reason. So the gist of it is, it got too ambitious from a DLC. They wanted to put a lot, took longer than what it is. Yes, they made a mistake of announcing it too early. But yeah, there's no controversy whatsoever. It's just, it just took too long. And I mean, if you want something that's a bit of controversy, I mean, COVID, that's it. But nothing else. So, so Silk Song, Hollow Knight 2 will be coming on in 2025 on September 4th. There you go. Finally, the story can be read. I know, like for me personally, I don't really follow the story much. I did play the first Hollow Knight. It is a Metroidvania game. Nothing personal. I really couldn't get into it. It is what it is there. So moving from that one is, Sekiro will have an anime exclusive to Crunchyroll. So Dark Soul game, Samurai. So sort of an explanation of what happened to Sekiro. I mean, it is what it is there. And then there's going to be a new Lego Batman game that's basically giving the history of Batman in the Lego form. I like Lego game, but whether you like it or not, they are collectathon. Hey, at least it's easy achievement to some extent. So there you go. And then Monster Hunter World will have a Final Fantasy XIV collaboration. So Chocobo, Cactar, monsters from Final Fantasy XIV is going to be in there. And then Final Fantasy XIV will have Monster Hunter World content with Rathalos, monsters from Monster Hunter. And then you get to design your character as a Monster Hunter. So again, collaboration. It's always an awesome thing, crossover. So if you're a fan of those games, there you go. So awesome. That's all I can say. And then another trailer for Omnimusha Wave of the Sword. So more info about the game. So so the best part here is it's not going to be Dark Souls, but it's going to be still hard. Second, what it looks like for the gameplay trailer is it's going to be third person. It's going to be sort of open world rather than a fixed camera like the past, I think, 4 games, even the fourth Omnimusha game. But it's not going to be Resident Evil. It's not going to be Dark Souls. It's just going to be a hard open world pseudo samurai game. So can't wait for that one. Looks interesting. I did play all the Omnimusha game in the past, believe it or not. Did actually also surprisingly, I did finish all 3 of them. Never had a chance to play the 4th one, but from what I understand, it has no connection with the other one. I mean, to some extent, all those Omnimusha game has no connection, so you could probably start with this one and not be concerned about the story. Just saying there. And then, free-to-play Arc Knight Anfield. I mean, if you play Arc Knight, it is what it is. It's sort of anime free-to-play. The reason it's interesting to me is I've been playing a lot of this free-to-play game from Hoyoverse. The anime aesthetic, I like it, I enjoy it. But to some extent, push get to shove, a lot of this gameplay are just very repetitive. But I mean, to each of their own. I mean, would I recommend it to spend time? I don't know. But to some extent, you probably best play like Final Fantasy. I don't know. But that's just me. And then Daemon Machina X Titanic announced there's going to be a demo, all platforms, so it's not a Switch exclusive. Thank you. In the demo, the save file will transfer to the main game. If you never played a Daemon Machina game, here it is. I tried playing the first one, I remember, on the Switch. The demo, couldn't really get into it. So maybe I'll try it again in this one. We'll just have to wait and see. And then this one, not really interested, but hey, it's Deadpool. So Deadpool VR announced they're going to have more villains in the game. So there's going to be Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red, Mojo. A lot of X-Men villains going to be in it. I mean, it's Deadpool, so what can you say? Then another free-to-play game is Neverless to Everlast, a Grand Theft Auto free-to-play game with anime aesthetic. So like I said, I'll try free-to-play game if it's anime-ish. I'll try it and see if it's fun or not. And we'll just have to wait and see because I know I like anime. Oh no, I'm a person that likes anime. So that means I don't like anything like real world or American style design or whatever. I don't know about that. If you follow the internet, you'll understand what I'm trying to talk about, those weirdos in social media, but whatever. So moving on from that one is more gameplay of Ninja Gaiden 4. They just showed more characters. Again, props to Microsoft for actually doing this. Yeah, they are publishing the game. It is multi-platform. The developer are Tecmo Koei and Platinum Games. Yes, whether you like or not, Platinum Games are now just sort of a support developer to some extent. A lot of the big name, they left. So, Hideki Kamiya, he has his own company now and he's doing Okami 2. Some key people left. Even the guy who did Astral Chain left. So, I don't know what the future for Platinum Games. The only thing that I really wish they would really do is Bayonetta 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 5. When? For crying out, when? Oh my goodness. I mean, heck, Hideki Kamiya basically said that Bayonetta is the same universe with Devil May Cry, Okami, and Wonderful 101. I know it's weird. Don't think too much about it. Alright, so moving from that one is another trailer for Silent Hill F. This time, dub. Thank you for people who wants to listen to video game in English. Moving on. La Divana Commedia, another medieval action game. Looks interesting when I saw it, so we'll just have to wait and see what it is there. Another free-to-play game. Seven Deadly Sin Origin. If you watch the anime, then you'll understand what this is. So I did watch the anime. I love it. If you have Netflix, if you have a chance, try to watch it. It's not a really long series. It is good. It's about demons, angel, humans, overpowered, and there's a war. But, I mean, it's sort of a Dragon Ball Z meets medieval, if you can say that. But, hey, it's a free-to-play game, and I don't know what's behind it. There's a closed beta coming, so just wait and see. Ghost of Yutei, more trailer, but it'll be also announced that in 2026 there's going to be the Legend game, which is, if you don't know what it is, in Ghost of Tsushima, there's a new mode called Legend, which is a multiplayer game. I think you can even play it by itself. No surprise. And as for the game itself, we'll just have to wait and see. Yes, the controversy is the main character. She has some call for opinion, but again, if you can separate her politics, which is the game itself, should be fine. But if Ghost of Yutei suddenly have some sort of propaganda politics, that's a concern, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's not going to come until October 2025. Closing for this Gamescom is Resident Evil Requiem. They finally show gameplay. Yes, you are going to play the daughter of the main character from Outbreak. Right now, you only start with a lighter. They showed more about it during Gamescom. And at least the good part is you can either play the game in first person or third person. You can always switch around from what I understand. So that's good. Because I tried playing Resident Evil 7. I almost puked. Let's just say that. That's why I never played it. I can play Resident Evil game. I'm not really into it, but I knew a friend of mine does. That's why I still need to finish some other ones. I mean, at least the option is there because people didn't really like playing Resident Evil in first person. Not all of them. That's why it was a good move for Resident Evil Village. And then, of course, closing for this one that I'm interested in is another Black Myth game from Game Science. So, if you played Wukong, a lot of people did say that it was sort of hard. It's not a Dark Soul game, but a lot of boss rush. So, now they're going to focus on another legendary Chinese mythology by the name of Yong Kui. So, they're going to base on the game on this one. So, it's going to be more like platform adventure, or it's still going to be like boss rush like Wukong there. So, I don't know. So, there you go. The announcement that happened on Gamescom opening night live. I had to give them props about it. What they showed, and finally Silk Song, now it's finally on the book. It's gonna come out on September. There you go. So props of what Jeff Keighley did say. Was it better than last year? Probably just so in the same. That's what it's so. Props to that one. Also, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, they just announced that they finally revealed all the games are gonna be in it. You can see it on the internet. So as expected, everything that's 2D is gonna be in that collection, including Deadly Alliance and its sequel for the GBA, so I don't know if that's going to be fun or not. But the biggest one that people were shocked that was in the collection, and I think it was a good move. That's why it's $50, to some extent $60 for the Switch 2 because of the game card thing, but that's a different story. They already talked about it. That they will be adding Sub-Zero Mythology and Special Force. So for people who don't know what, those are spin-off games from the PlayStation 1 era. And let's just say that those games are really bad. The AVGN did an episode about Sub-Zero Mythology, and it was bad. I saw Maximilian playing it in the stream. Looks like shit, but shit it may be. There is a lot of history about those two games, so there you go. So it is a surprise that mostly the collection are the 2D Mortal Kombat game and Sub-Zero Mythology and Special Force because, I mean, those games are shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, are they gonna do a sequel? Will they do Legacy Collection 2 with all the 3D Mortal Kombat, which I want preferred? Hopefully, crossing my finger. All 3 Mortal Kombat trilogy, 3D trilogy, and Shaolin Monks. That'll be awesome. Heck, why not even put in Mortal Kombat 9? Because the only way to play that game is on your 360 and PS3. That's it. In case with X, 10, 11, and 12, I mean, come on. You can get that by itself. But I have to say that at least Legacy Collection is a better game in my opinion than Mortal Kombat 1. It's probably less boring because Mortal Kombat 1 is still boring in my opinion. And also, what happened to that big update they're going to do after Evo? I mean, they did some patches, but I don't really follow that one. Anyway, there you go, my thoughts of Gamescom and the stuff. Gotta give props to what it is, to Jeff Keighley. Awesome we did. But like I said, it's just the same as the old one, but there were surprises. Let's just leave it to that. So with that, I'll see you guys later.